Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it's time for me to bring you episode number 7 of our FIFA 17 career mode here with Hull City. And today we've got another 3 EPL games for you. As you know already from this series so far, if you've seen all the videos, if not then check out the playlist in the top right of the screen. But if you've watched the series so far, you'll know that we've had a very good start to the season, and we actually had to change the sliders last episode to make it more difficult for us. We'll see whether that's been fruitful this episode as we face Southampton, Sunderland and West Bromwich Albion in this one. But I just thought I'd draw your attention to the top scorers list before we get into anything. Obviously we've had a very good start to the season, we've scored quite a few goals, and Abel Hernandez is actually the top scorer in the entire league so far with 9 goals. You can also see Leon Bailey as well in the top 25, he's in 13th place with 4 goals. And in terms of the assist list as well, we've got some representation on that too. Abel Hernandez and Jake Livermore both in the top 10 on 2. We've also got a few other players in this list as well, and it's just nice to see some Hull players actually getting on the list and actually high up as well. Marvin Stefaniak and Vincent Jayceeoh are also in the top 25 in terms of assists, and you can see that David Marshall is actually the second best goalkeeper when it comes to clean sheets this season, only behind Mondonda, which I suspect is probably the reason why Crystal Palace are so high up the order. You haven't seen the league table at this point in the series, it is absolutely all over the place. Crystal Palace are top, we are second, Stoke are in the top 4 as well. It's all over the place. We just talked about Abel Hernandez though, because he's the top scorer in the league, and you guys voted him as your player of the episode for last episode, which means he's going to play in every single game today. So all 3 of the games, and again at the end of the episode, you guys can vote for your player of the episode in this one as well. Now that it's time to get into the first game of today's episode at the KCOM Stadium against Southampton, who go into this one bottom of the table, I do believe. However, they have got a pretty good side, so it's pretty shocking really to see that they're so far down the pecking order. We're not going to take them for granted because they are a good side, whether they're bottom of the league or not. You can see the squad in the background, it is very strong. Ryan Mason is into the side though instead of Jake Livermore, and you can see we're still playing that 4-3-3 formation. Andrew Robertson, of course, back from injury last episode, so he's a left back. You can see Southampton's squad, and this is potentially the reason why they're doing so badly. They're playing a lot of youngsters. You can see Seeger, Jake Hesketh, Harrison Reed, Stevens, Target, Taylor in goal as well. A lot of second string players, and if that's what they're playing every single week, then it's unsurprising as to why they're at the bottom of the table. Jordi Klasi though with the first chance of the game, and he blazes the ball wide, perhaps could have done a little bit better. Hernandez though finding Henriksen, a good shot there from the Norwegian midfielder considering the ball was stuck under his feet, but a good save from the Southampton goalkeeper. The resulting corners being swung in by Vincent Jayceeoh is towards Abel Hernandez, and it's in the back of the net. A wonderful header from Abel Hernandez, and that is double digits, double figures in the season already. 10 goals in the EPL for Abel Hernandez. This time is with his head, and that is an unstoppable header into the top corner, and what a run of form this man is in. Just a few minutes later, an almost carbon copy corner's coming in. It's found the feet of Dawson, but it's saved comfortably by Taylor. You think that if it had been anyone else really, that might have been nestling in the back of the net, but we're looking very strong from aerial challengers. Into the 27th minute, Ryan Mason going for a shot, but again it is well saved by Taylor, who I don't actually know. I don't know who that guy is, but he's playing well in goal. Jayceeoh again from the right hand side, it's towards Henriksen this time at the near post, and he clips the top of the crossbar with the header. He's very dangerous actually in the air, and we're looking very dangerous overall in the air at this point in the game. We're also looking very solid though at the back, as Michael Keane is having a wonderful game at the moment, but Southampton's still getting the odd chance, and you can see one there for, I think that was Barnes, or it might have been Seeger actually, Ryan Seeger. A decent chance, but a good save from Marshall. But we are looking very solid at the back. Michael Keane has had a very good game. We're still looking dangerous going forward, but again, the Southampton goalkeeper making saves, this time from Snodgrass. The ball into the box from Snodgrass there. It's headed away out for a corner. Hernandez was going for it, and you can see actually that Vincent Jayceeoh is the man pulling the strings. He's got an assist in this game, and he's been very influential. He's having a wonderful game as Vincent Jayceeoh, and we were a little bit doubtful about him perhaps at the start of the season, at the start of the series, but he's looking very good now. And still looking very good is the goalkeeper. You saw an amazing save there to deny Hernandez, and Sofiane Boufal has hit the crossbar as well. He's off the bench and he's looking to try and change the game. Wonderful chance for him, but he hits the crossbar, and Southampton are starting to get a foothold back in this game. Wonderful reverse ball there from Barnes to find Jake Hesketh into the box for Sofiane Boufal again, and what a block that was from Andrew Robertson. Sofiane Boufal is looking very dangerous, but what a block. I actually had to manually press slide tackle to deny that. Out for the result resulting corner in the 80th minute. It's a scramble. Dawson tries to get it away, but he slide tackles instead of clearing the ball away, and that is a penalty for Southampton with just 10 minutes to go. It's about as clear cut as you like. and Michael Dawson has given away the penalty. Jordi Clazy will step up to take it. Which way will he go? Will Marshall save it? He goes the right way. He goes the right way, does Marshall, but it just skims under his body. Perhaps he could have adjusted himself better, but it is 1-1. Southampton equalised through Jordi Clazy, the ex-Feyenoord central midfielder, and it is 1-1 in this game, and that is how it ends. Disappointment in the end, because we definitely deserved to win the game. We had loads of chances. Southampton's goalkeeper was really on fire, and an unlucky penalty in the area. It was definitely a penalty, but perhaps Marshall could have done a little bit better. Hernandez gets man of the match, unsurprisingly, after scoring, although my man of the match was actually Vincent Cosiello, and Michael Keane was extremely solid in that game as well. I thought, Hernandez scored the goal, and he was very good, but I thought Cosiello and Michael Keane were far more important in terms of their performance to how well we did in the game than Abel Hernandez. I mean, Cosiello, I was really concerned about his lack of physicality at the start of the series, but he's really starting to become the designated playmaker in the side. I'm really excited to using him on a more regular basis. In the background, you can see that Onyinye and Ndidi has gone up, though, in training, despite the disappointment there in that result against Southampton, in losing that late penalty, but only getting 1 point. We are getting some positives out of training. Valkvist is very close to going up to 72 overall now, and Ndidi is already up to 75, with Bailey close to 77. But I just thought I'd go on the objectives quickly. You can see that our manager rating has dropped significantly to 70, despite our performance in the league, and that's mainly because we're falling short on our financial objectives quite massively. And I was just wondering, is there any way that we can gain money, because like at the end of the season perhaps, because we're never going to, how are you ever going to get £85 million in profit from just shirt sales and ticket prices? I mean, we'll be able to have 17 mil left at the end of the season. I'm pretty confident we can do that, because we've got a few players to sell, and we'll also get prize money at the end of the season for our finishing position in the EPL. I was just wondering, how are we even going to be able to fulfill the other one? I just don't really know. Maybe if you guys know, then drop it in the comment section. You can see that we're now getting into the second game of today's episode against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, and you can see there's a few changes to the side. Pretty poor game, for Dawson, so Davies is back into the side. I've also got Ndidi in as well for Mason, but apart from that, the squad is the same. Into the 4th minute, we're getting the first chance of the game, and it's actually Onyinye Ndidi, who's now up to a 75 overall with the first chance, but it's a comfortable save for Jordan Pickford in the Sunderland net. Sunderland going forward with Jermaine Defoe, decent block though by Michael Keane, again having a wonderful game and a pretty decent episode so far, and a good block and a clearance from him. Sunderland though going forward, wonderful pass, it's found Lee Catamol. We've been split apart, and Sunderland have taken the lead in this game after just 18 minutes. I don't know who the pass is from. It might be Seb Larson, I think it is in the end. Good finish as well from Catamol. Nothing Marshall can really do about that. And we are 1-0 down, as you can see, in the 18th minute. And I guess we're going to have to look for a response at some stage. But disappointment at the start of the game, really, in the first 20 minutes. We've been behind quite a few times now in this series, and we really need to start games a lot better than we are at the moment. Cosiello, though, finding Abel Hernandez, who's going to try and get an instant response, and it looks as if he might be given the opportunity to do so, because Papi Djilaboji has brought him down, and that is, well, it's just poor defending, really poor. Jumping in, the penalty will be taken by Hernandez, and Jordan Pickford should have done better. And if we were unlucky not to save the penalty in the Southampton game, we're very lucky to score this penalty, in the Sunderland game, as Jordan Pickford gets two strong hands to it and is not able to keep it out, and we are level now at 1-1. Leon Bailey now going forward, going past the full-back and putting the ball into the box, but Hernandez puts the header just wide. Bailey going forward again, trying to find Hernandez again, but this time he's unable to even pick out the Uruguayan. Sunderland though trying to play the ball out from the back, and they're not able to do so. Marcus Henriksen wins the ball back, gives it to Leon Bailey, but a wonderful save from the future England goalkeeper, perhaps Jordan Pickford, and he's out for a corner. The resulting corner will be swung in by Cosiello towards Henriksen, not onto the back post, and Michael Keane is there to steer it in. And the English centre-back, who's had such a wonderful episode in defence so far, now gives us the goal to take the lead in this game for the first time, having been behind earlier. It was a really nice routine as well, really nicely worked routine. Seb Larson going for a chance there, but the corner in from Cosiello, nodded on at the front post by Henriksen, and then finally Michael Keane at the back post. Really nicely worked corner, and it's 2-1 to us, and it could have been 3-1 if not for another great save from Pickford, this time to deny Robert Snodgrass. But we're really starting to dominate this game. Stefaniak there found by Ndidi, and again a great save, this time to deny the finesse shot from Stefaniak. From Pickford. We've still got the ball though. Cosiello now to Henriksen. He sees Ndidi in a lot of space. Can Ndidi finish? Yes, he can. And that is a first goal for the club for Onyinye Ndidi after signing from Genk. And that is game, set and match. Game over in this one. Sunderland will not be able to come back from this. It is 3-1. We have the 2-goal lead now. Pickford unable to keep them in the game for any longer, and that is how the game ends away from home at the Stadium of Lights. It is 3-1, and another win in this series. And to be honest with you, I found the sliders did make a difference in that game, but Sunderland were just too poor defensively for it to make enough of an impact. So again, we're going to have to just keep testing these sliders to make sure they're okay. We'll see how it goes at the end of this episode. If we're still bossing it, then maybe we'll have to make them even more extreme. You saw the ratings though in the background. Henriksen actually got man of the match as well. Good rating for him, and someone else did as well. Linus Wahlqvist though has gone up in training. He's now 72 overall, so the road to him becoming our best right back is well and truly on. He's now the same overall as Moses Odubajo. Now though, it is time for the final game of this episode at the KCOM Stadium. Again, we are at home for this one against West Bromwich Albion. Yet another game in the EPL, the third of this episode, and the 13th game, I do believe, of the season, against the team that is the lowest scoring in the whole Premier League so far. So we shouldn't be hoping to leak too many goals to these guys. You know, we should be hoping to make sure that we keep a clean sheet in this one. Here you can see the squad in the background. A few changes in this game actually. Stefaniak is at left mid. Dawson's back in for Davies, and Linus Wahlqvist is in as well at right back. Here there is the West Brom side. You can see that Rondon and Berahino lead the attack, and the rest of the players there in defence and midfield. Looking pretty dangerous though, this West Brom side. Definitely not to be taken too lightly. Into the 3rd minute of the game, and it's actually West Brom going forward. First of all, Berahino with some nice link-up play towards Neom. It's deflected, and it is yet another early goal for our opposition, for the right back of all people, Alain Jean-Michel, whatever his first two names are. The main thing is his name's Neom. The right back, formerly of Watford, is deflected off Dawson, and Marshall was unable to keep it out. Potentially could have adapted his body, but the deflection really beating him. It's cruel luck in the end, and we're 1-0 down without the, not without the lack of trying from Henriksen. Down the left-hand side, though, and Rondon has headed it in, and it's 2-0 in a flash of light. It's now suddenly, in the space of no time, it's 2-0. Nasser Chadli putting the ball in for Rondon, and it's a sorry excuse for an aerial challenge from Dawson. Shocking defending for the man who's come in for Davies in this game, and he's not really proving to me why that was a good decision, to be quite honest with you. Deflecting the ball in for the first goal, and then a horrendous aerial challenge to try and deny Rondon for the second goal. And we're 2-0 down, despite having some good chances in this one. Stefaniak there with a shot being deflected wide into the second half. Stefaniak again looking like a pretty positive player, not quite having the explosive impact that he did in the first episode he was here. You can see we're going forward again, the ex-Genk boys, Bailey and Ndidi linking up, and Ndidi with the shot, and again a great save from Ben Foster. The opposition goalkeepers are really on form in this game. Solomon Rondon now being played forward. Dawson unable to keep up with him. It's pulled back for Berahino, who probably should have done better. We could even be 3-0 down at this point, which is just shocking. Marcus Henriksen on the ball there, trying to go forward. He's actually been brought down, and he's actually stayed down, which is worrying, because Marcus Henriksen's in great form. Got a 9.3 rating in the last game, and we're going to have to bring him off. He's out injured. Jayceeoh will have to move to the number 10 role, and we'll bring on Ryan Mason to replace Marcus Henriksen. Hopefully the Norwegian midfielder is not out for too long, because that could be pretty worrying. Into 77th minute, another chance for us, and again a great save from Foster to deny Abel Hernandez. And now West Brom are going forward on the counter-attack 3 minutes later. Callum McManaman here down the right-hand side. Ball into the box towards Berahino. It's a shocking attempt at a clearance for Dawson. Berahino's still on the ball, and he's turned and put it in, and that is just, I mean, it's rubbing salt in the wounds, really. It is 3-0 against the lowest scoring team in the EPL, and Dawson, yet again, fingers could be pointed at him, and maybe even Marshall as well. He'll be a bit disappointed he hasn't got a stronger hand to that, but it's 3-0. Saido Berahino gets his goal, and West Brom are pretty decent value money for it. They've been far more clinical, but now finally we are clinical as well, as Abel Hernandez gets his sort of mandatory goal, really, in this series. Ryan Mason slotting it through to him. It's a decent finish from Hernandez, but it's far too little and far too late. We lose the game 3-1. At least we get on the score sheet, but it's still a pretty disappointing defeat against West Brom. We were talking about the sliders, and it seems to have made a positive impact in that game, because West Brom were very, very difficult to contain. Rondon and Berahino were all over the place. Decent ratings, though, still for Hernandez and Ndidi, and also, I think, Jayceeoh as well. So not too bad in the end, or Ryan Mason, I can't even remember who it was. You can see, though, unfortunately, to add injury to insult, as opposed to insult to injury, we've got Marcus Henriksen with a broken ankle after that game, so it is a pretty nasty injury in the end for the Norwegian midfielder. We won't see him now until February. So prepare not to see Henriksen for a while. The loanee, in on loan from AZ Alkmaar, is out for quite some time after breaking his ankle 3 months, and he'll be back after the January transfer window. We're still second though in the league despite that pretty heavy defeat really against West Brom and the disappointing draw against Southampton. The win against Sunderland was enough to keep us firmly in the top 4 despite some pretty inconsistent results recently. Hopefully we won't stay here, to be honest with you. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but you know, it'd be very unrealistic really to be finishing second with Hull. Though having said that, Leicester won the league last year, so I guess anything's possible. Nevertheless, that's the end of the table. You can see in the background now is the Hall of Fame. Abel Hernandez, of course, is still the man with the most goals for the club. He's the club's top goal scorer. He's got most player of the episodes. He's got most appearances as well. It's looking pretty good for him. Ryan Mason is still top of the assist list, although Marcus Henriksen and Marvin Stefaniak are very close behind him on that list. Again, the transfer fees stay the same, and clean sheets obviously goes to David Marshall still. That is about it though for this one. Yet again, as I mentioned earlier, you can vote in the top right of the screen for your player of the episode. There'll probably be some sort of other question as well that I like to pose to you guys, because I like to keep these series as very interactive. I won't have mentioned it in this video, but it might be some sort of issue that I was wanting to pose to you guys. You can vote on that as well in the little top right sort of exclamation mark on the screen. Nevertheless, I hope you've enjoyed... Oh, sorry, wait, what did I even just say? Nevertheless, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, then feel free to hit the likes button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel as well for more content like this, career mode and tips videos regarding career mode, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. It has been a pleasure ranting at you guys though today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
No, that's not me. Act like a waste man, that's not